Hey, how are you? My name is Ben, and I'm a movie buff. I know it's been a few months since my last video, so I want to thank you guys for your patience, but now I'm back, and today I'm going to talk about the movies that scared me the most. Out of all the movies I've seen, it's October, we're getting close to Halloween, so I thought it'd be quite applicable. So keep in mind that not all the movies I'm talking about today are strictly horror films. They either have some element, some character, some sort of thing that scared me when I first saw it. So that's why I'm bringing them up today. So without further ado, let's do this. First, I want to bring up some honorable mentions. The first one is Ivan Ooze from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. I saw this movie as a kid. Ivan Ooze, his makeup and the way he acted and all that really scared me. Then there's Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street, and on top of that, just the brilliant idea about a scarred killer chasing you in your dreams, trying to kill you in your dreams. Definitely gave me a hard time, trying to fall asleep. And then last but not least, this guy from Child's Play. I dare not say his name here. Anyways, let's get into the three movies that have scared me the most. The first one I'm going to bring up is kind of an embarrassing one for me, and begins with a story. In the year 2000, I saw a movie called Chicken Run in theaters. Now, Chicken Run is not the movie in question. Chicken Run's a really fun, really great movie. It's absolutely worth seeing if you haven't. But before Chicken Run started, of course, you have the previews for upcoming movies. Well, they had a teaser trailer for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And let's just say, I would have been like 10 or 11 years old, I think, as a sensitive 10 or 11-year-old kid, seeing this trailer, and I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube, look it up. They play In the Hall of the Mountain King, that very famous, just type it in on YouTube and you'll know exactly what it is when you hear it. They play that music. You see these various shots of like the Grinch's finger coming in, grabbing something, and the silhouette of the Grinch, maybe his leg. And then at the end of the teaser, we finally see his face. And I still remember the moment seeing his face and feeling like I was like looking upon the face of a demon that was, out to get me. So, the face of the Grinch scared the living daylights out of me. And that teaser trailer, before I even saw the movie, that teaser trailer scared me so much that I slept at the bottom of my parents' bed. I slept there for about a year or two after this incident, because it genuinely, it really, really scared me. That face, his mannerisms and the way he sounded, it was pretty terrifying, and it took me a while to get over it. And eventually, one of the things that helped me get over my fear was I finally sat down and I watched the movie a few years after it had already come out. And it's still like it was hard to watch, but by the time that it was over and you remember like, oh, it's the Grinch, and he has a change of heart and all that, it eventually got better, and now he doesn't bother me anymore. Not really. The next movie I'm going to bring up, and this isn't strictly a horror movie. I consider it a horror movie because of how much it scared me when I was a kid. But a few years after The Grinch, I watched this movie called Signs by M. Night Shyamalan. Say what you guys will about Shyamalan and about his movies and about Signs, but I really like M. Night Shyamalan. I love The Sixth Sense. Unbreakable is really good. Split is good. Signs might be my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. So I remember watching Signs for the first time, and my parents telling me that it might be kind of intense, but they thought I could handle it. So we sit down and we start watching Signs, and the music starts playing, and obviously it's a very, like there's this sense of urgency, this sense of concern with the music that got me kind of nervous, of course. And really, the cool thing about it is that Signs is, I feel, in my humble opinion, a textbook example of how to slowly reveal a monster. Because, of course, you have these aliens in Signs, and instead of just showing them off right off the bat in the first 10 minutes, they take their time to kind of show bits and pieces. And really, your first good look of the alien is not until the very end. And the way that was done, it was done with such skill, and it was so beautifully realized that as a kid, it scared the living daylights out of me. I was so scared by the movie that in the third act of the movie, when the family, slight spoiler warning if you haven't seen Signs, but the family decides that they want to defend their home, and the aliens are trying to get in. That whole sequence of them defending the home and going into the cellar and everything that happens afterwards, I remember my little brother, Timmy, was watching this with us, and he had his eyes closed and he had his head turned away because things were just getting too intense for him. And I remember looking over at him and I thought to myself, like, wow, like, I feel really brave right now. Like, not even my little brother can watch this, but I can. And then seconds later, something really scary would happen, and it would be like, oh, it's hard being brave, because I kind of wanted to do the same thing, but I still had to watch. Like, I still had to see this through, even if it was gonna scare me a lot. And then, of course, the movie finished, and I thought it was really good, but I also was just really, really scared by it. Where I grew up, of course, like, is kind of a house in the countryside. So it's kind of similar to the house in Signs. And all I do is I just look out the window and I just imagine like a green alien slowly kind of like walking towards the house. And it really, really scared me. So Signs had a big impact on me, and it's quite possibly one of my favorite films, but it's also one of those movies that it was one of those really scary, intense, suspenseful movies that I saw as a kid. And last but not least, the scariest movie that I have ever seen, my favorite horror movie of all time, and of course one that I talked about in my last video that has the perfect tagline in space, no one can hear you scream, was a little movie called Alien by Ridley Scott. So the first time I saw Alien was Christmas night in either 2004 or 2005, I think. And I remember my older brother Josh got the first two Alien movies, Alien and Aliens, both amazing movies. He got them for Christmas. So Christmas morning, because I hadn't seen any of the Alien movies, he suggested to me, he said, Ben, we should watch these tonight. We should, or at least start with Alien. So I thought, okay, sounds good. Fast forward to that evening, we sit down, we start watching the movie. During the opening credits, which are the least scary thing of the whole movie, I still felt this sense of dread, this sense of impending doom coming. I asked my brother to turn the lights on. So we watched the whole movie with lights on. We didn't watch it in the dark. And still, by the end of it, it was easily one of the scariest things that I had ever seen. What makes the movie so scary? Well, the tagline certainly helps. The music, the way that it kind of creeps in sometimes, and also the ways that it, comes at full force when things are really bad. And just the thought of being in this big spaceship slowly going through space, and it feeling kind of like a big haunted house, and the fact that there is a lethal alien, there is a dangerous, skilled alien out there that is gonna kill you off one by one, and doesn't feel like there's much you can do. There's also no help coming. So Alien, without a doubt, terrified me. So much so that at night, over the next few weeks, I would lay in bed and I'd look into my closet, which didn't have a door, so it would just be darkness and these little shapes and things of, clothes and whatever I had in my closet. And I just always felt like there was an alien in there and he was waiting to strike. So that kept me up at night. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please post in the comments below, what are some of the movies that scared you the most? I'm sure there are plenty of other scary movies that I haven't mentioned in this video, so please share those with me. Other than that, like this video, share the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. And last but not least, I can talk. Well,